All right. Hello. This is Mark Delacruz back again, basically with another cool one of our entries in our indie creator series. This time we're looking at Cyberrats in space, which promises us to be a lot of fun with mechs and explosions. And, well, we'll just see what exactly happens. It's going to be fun. So let me get everything on screen now. All right. Basically, now you can see everything. You can I'm going to turn down Pretzel a little. You don't get to overwhelm everything. Hi. The Pretzel really wants to chat in the chat. That's fine. And we are here today with basically 20 and 20 because I forgot to change Mike's name. Hey, Mike, you're playing 20 today. Uh, it's fine. It's fine. Everything is normal. All right, we are here with basically 2020 and Alex. Basically, and Alex is the creator of Cyberrats in Space. He's also creator of several other games, including the two previous Cyberrats games. Oh, hey Tony, how's it going? Glad you're here to catch that. Not embarrassing at all. It's fine. So while I fix that, I'm going to hand this over to Alex to explain to us exactly what Cyberrats in Space is.
I love how there's a frog over my face too.
I give you your mechs. They're kind of hanging out there. I can move it to the right. There we go. Gonna hang it over there.
Cyberrats in Space is the third and final game in the Cyberrats trilogy. This is a science fiction kind of cyberpunky game that is heavily inspired by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the XCOM video games, and Shadowrun. And in the first game, generations ago, aliens came to invade Earth, and you or your ancestors were interns, and you fight off that invasion. But there's a twist to it because there's another megacorp also trying to fight them off. So you have to balance your resources, sabotaging the other megacorp, fighting the aliens, and making sure that it's your team, your company that gets all the credit. Now in Cyberrats in Space, it's generations later. We have lost that original war. The aliens conquered Earth, and a number of generation ships launched out into space, where you have either been born on this generation ship or have been in Cairo sleep for some time. But in any case, you have woken up now. You are in orbit over the interlopers' alien planet, and you are ready to get revenge. And the biggest tool that you have with you this time that you did not have in the base game is that you can climb inside big, clunky mechs using state-of-the-art technology from when you were launched way, way, way long ago. That's the brief synopsis of Cyberrats in Space.
Awesome. And we're going basically, so Alex is going to take us through a really kind of abbreviated, we're going to fit this into a short stream time mission. There's a lot more. There's a really interesting mission system and things like that. There's character building, things like that. Right now, we're going to jump into the heart of it and let Alex take us through a mission that he has kind of built out to give us basically give us a good feeling for what Cyberrats in Space is like. So go ahead and basically drop us into our mechs and take us away.
Great. So I'm going to give you a little bit of context first. And that is, in a normal game of Cyberrats, you would start off, you would still be interns, and I would drop you into a mission with no mech, no tools, no powers, just a gun and the cheapest armor money can buy. After you complete that mission, you get to come home and build out your mech. There's also another thing that I'm changing here, where in a normal game, you would each have two characters that you would get to control. So you would have one character and they both have a mech, but they'd have totally different builds, however you want to play them. And at the start of each game, I would present you with 3 missions and say, which of these missions do you all want to play out and send your primary character on? And it doesn't have to be the same primary character each time. And then I would say, which of these missions do you want to send your secondary character on, which we would resolve with just a big dice pool. And then I would say, in which of these missions do we want to fail? And that structure works because, once again, there are multiple factions at play here. There's the interlopers, the big aliens we're trying to get revenge on. There's the swarm, which is a hive insect planet that is also trying to get revenge on the aliens. So we have to prevent them from defeating them first. And then there's the Space Force, who are sort of a third-party neutral arms dealer sort of faction, peacekeeper faction. And so there are 2 victory meters at play, where if either the interlopers get too strong, they fight you off, or if the swarm gets too strong, they fight you off. So as you're failing these missions, those factions get closer and closer to their victory goals. So you gotta have to manage that. It's a lot of resource management in that phase. But today, we're going to pretend like you all had your intern mission, you all succeeded, you've all built your mech, and in fact, your mechs have probably been on like 2 or 3 missions so far with the amount of stuff you have. So this is early in the campaign, but you are fully competent, fully kitted out. Cyberrats, all of the Cyberrats games, I should say both of the Cyberrats games, come with a complete campaign. And that campaign is meant to be won or lost. The first game you're sort of meant to lose in about 12 games. So we will be going through one of those missions today. So with that, I'm going to, even though you only have 1 character here today, I'm going to present you with 3 missions, and you can decide which of them you want to play out. And then obviously we won't actually roll for the second one, and we won't actually fail the third one, but we'll look at what that structure would look like.
Awesome.
So here are the 3 missions, and depending on some GMs or some managers, as we call them, because it's very corporate humor in this, would come in and say, okay, I'm going to do the mission briefing, and I'll put on a big voice and da 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 da. I'm just going to give them to you straight here. We have a lot to get through, but there'll be time for fun and games. But here are your 3 missions. Mission 1 is against the interlopers. We will be going against those guys who invaded Earth. And this, on their planet, they have a section of the planet called Earth Sector, where they have built, akin to Las Vegas, they have set up an amusement park of their understanding of Earth out in the deserts. There are casinos, there's an IKEA, there's a water park. And this mission is at the IKEA. It's at Earth Sector IKEA. And
Nice.
This is a briefcase mission, which means they have a valuable briefcase that they are trying to get from point A to point B, and you want to intercept that briefcase and make sure that you get it before it gets to the hover taxi and gets away. So that is mission 1, briefcase at the IKEA.
Okay.
Mission 2 is against the Swarm. So this is that other alien faction that's trying to beat up your enemies. These are insectoid people, and you're going to go into their ant tunnels, and you have planted a bomb, and your whole job is to survive until that bomb goes off. So you have endless swarms of ants and beetles and creepy crawlies coming at you, and you just have to survive for a few rounds.
I can already tell. There's a couple people in this group who have insect squicks, and I can tell. I can see their hard veto bubbling into the surface.
I mean, I'm not hard vetoing that, but I'm not interested either.
And the third mission that I will give you is against the Space Force. So this is against the intergalactic peacekeepers. There's no reason to fight these guys except that they have the best loot. They don't have a victory condition. They can't win, but they drop better stuff. And this is a very dangerous mission because they are the scariest people. But they have a VIP that you. So with the briefcase, you're just trying to stop. You don't need the briefcase. You just need to stop it from escaping. The VIP is someone you need to extract alive. And it is a situation where this guy, they are trying to escort him to a place. And if they think you're going to kidnap him, they will kill him. So you have to get this guy out safely. You think he will turn to your side if you can get him out. And this one takes place in a low orbit satellite ring in space. So this would be a low gravity mission, which means that movement would be much faster, be much easier to move. And so this is the 3 missions I will present to you. Which of these are we interested in playing out today?
You had me at rating an IKEA, so I'm like,
Great.
Yeah, I'm feeling IKEA as well.
Sounds
Okay.
amazing.
Space
So
IKEA
we'll
sounds
go
great.
to Earth Sector
Space
IKEA, and then
IKEA.
in a real game, in a normal game of Cyberrats, I would then follow this up, and I would say, which of these missions are we going to send our second? I would say, who's going on this primary mission?
Sure.
And I'll still ask that question in just a moment. But then I would say, okay, and what's our secondary mission, and who's going on that one? And then are we okay
Nice.
failing that third mission? But I have been talking for quite a long time, so let me ask, who's going on this mission?
Me.
Yo, I'm in.
Boom Howler, the pilot of the Boom Wagon, will of course go.
Yes, so we have a boom wagon, which is one of the mechs. Do you want to describe the boom wagon, or should I?
I mean, I'm looking at a picture of basically, we sadly only have basically some preview art of it that we can't quite show off yet, but I'm looking at things that look like Battletech met Macross, met several dozen Gears of 4, Games Workshop Warhammer 40k mechs, and they all had a very horrible, ugly baby. And basically it's got so many weapons, it wants to shoot all of them. It has, guns, it has more guns, it has toaster guns, it has laser guns, it has ammo for the guns strapped across itself in ways which are frankly make you question how mechs work, but hey, it's gonna fire them, it's gonna figure out a way, it's here to blow stuff up, it's not here to figure out or ask hard questions.
And it has the robotic equivalent of T-Rex arms.
I mean, arms are for, maybe occasionally you want to pick up somebody, Or maybe that's how I get into the cockpit. It reaches down and picks me up, boop, puts me, very gently puts me in. There's a little tiny cockpit, and then all the weapons arm up.
I think those arms are there so you can easily change fuses, because you'll be blowing fuses left.
Right. That's a fun mechanic we will.
In fact, you
See,
have a
arms are
bandolier of
important.
fuses across
Arms
your,
are
Boom Howard.
shoulder.
It's
All right,
that's
who's
big
next?
talk coming from the frog.
I guess I'll go next. I am playing Kermie, who pilots the frog.
And tell me
Nice.
about the dog.
Which you can see the picture of right here next to my face. That is the frog mech. It literally looks like a frog.
Are
you hopping around?
I love all the mechs equally, but the frog is my favorite.
Nice.
And what's the frog's deal?
Oh, the frog is look, it is fast. It can get to places.
Mm-hmm.
It has weapons, but also you better not cross the frog, because you will know the wrath of Mr. Slick Stick.
The frog can also eat people.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. I love it.
Yes. Yeah, I can gobble them. And it can either be consensual or non-consensual gobbling.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Anyway, yeah.
All right.
Kermie. That's me.
Excellent. And Mike, who do you have here?
All right, I am playing Undertow, the Beatbox. So the Beatbox is basically a giant karaoke machine. It looks, I mean, you can see the icon below me, but it looks like everybody's 1980s boombox. It's like it's on your shoulders, except it is your shoulders. I don't know what I love more, the speakers everywhere, or the fact that I have like Rainbow Claw on one hand and a massive like DJ setup on the other arm. So I can spin discs and play tunes. Apparently, I have a cassette player right there in the middle of my face, which is cool. But you can't go wrong by just doing karaoke as your primary means of everything, right? Like you want to talk to people, you can beatbox it. You want to attack your everybody around you within proximity. Just get really loud. I mean, what's not to love about that? Flashing lights, loud noises. Sign me up.
Excellent.
Loud
Yeah.
noises, it
So
looks.
that is the cast that we have here today. And so, like I said, none of you have played Cyberrats before, so I will be teaching the game as we go here.
Perfect.
But basically, what I have set up here, there's a secret Roll20 page that our viewers cannot see. But this is just a very rough drawing of what I've done. So the way Cyberrats works is this is on a zone system. All of you are at the entrance to the IKEA here, so you are close to each other. Everyone in the same zone as you is close. If you are in an adjacent zone, you are near. And if you are 2 zones away, you are far. Anything further away than that, it basically doesn't exist. Very rarely you'll have an ability that says like an enemy you can see, and that is as far as you can see. But for the most part here, close, near, far.
And in true IKEA fashion, it's a maze.
Yes. So the thing about IKEA is that, yes, there are walls here. And one of the cool things that Cyberrats does is that at the end of every enemy phase, so the way this works is each of you will get to take your turns in whatever order you want. After each of you have gone, I get to go, and I get to do the enemy phase, where I get to activate 4 enemies, 1 for each of you, plus 1 bonus one. And at the end of the enemy phase, the environment will change in some way. And I'll tell you the first way it's going to change is these shortcuts in here are going to move around.
Oh boy.
So
I love it so much.
Different change every round, but the environment will constantly be changing. This battlefield is going to look very different. The blue lines that you can see, these thin blue lines, are the zone markers. You can cleanly walk through them, target through them, whatever. The thicker pink lines that I have drawn, those are walls. You're still within this, you're still near, you're still far. You can attack through them, whatever, but you cannot move through them. They will block movement there. And then finally, we have this little briefcase you can all see over here. And if this briefcase makes it up to this red escape hatch, the enemies win. Make sense?
All right.
Huh.
Makes sense.
Okay.
So
Target rich
at this point,
Well, just what I like.
Yes.
that's right. And don't worry, even though there are a bunch of enemies in this IKEA shuffling around doing their shopping, I can only ever activate 4 of them. So there's no guarantee, it's not like all of these guys are going to come walloping you all at once.
Love it.
So I will, again, knowing I have cheat sheets for you and I'll help you walk through your turn, I'm going to start this combat the way I start every combat by asking, who wants the first action here? You can see the briefcase. You know your goal is to prevent it from getting to the big red. I'll make that a big red X just for your benefit.
Okay.
That is our exit.
Eh,
I'm gonna
That's what you
plow.
did there.
I'm gonna
It
plow
gets
a road.
exactly the applause it deserves.
Hey, hello, Dynams. Basically, well, I'm gonna basically, I'm just going to take the first action. I'm gonna plow a road. I'm going to explode things.
Okay. So on your turn, you get 2 actions. And obviously, you can use your actions to use your armaments, which are your main weapons. You can also use your action to link up to another mech. And there's no limit to the number of mechs that can be linked up. You could all 3 be one super mech. But while you are linked up, you move together. You can use each other's diesel to power your munitions. You can steal from each other, all of that good stuff. And of course, you can just move one range zone as an action. But those are some of the options you have. It sounds like you have an idea. You want to take out some of these scientists up in front of you. Is that right?
Scientists, basically, they look like targets to me.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have been in an IKEA if they didn't want to get it exploded by a mech today. I mean, common knowledge.
Wait, what?
That's their motto, right?
Yeah.
Meatballs, leave before the mechs.
Yeah, leave before the mech. Basically,
Mhm.
all right, I have diesel, so I don't get the extra action. But I'm going to do loose cannon.
That is a boom wagon specific trait. But yes, loose cannon. Okay, so the loose cannon has a higher chance than usual of blowing a fuse because it's not secured very well. So this is an armament, so I'm going to need you to roll an attribute roll. Our first roll of the game.
Woo-hoo.
What attribute are you using to power your loose cannon?
I feel like this is fairly solidly in Smash territory here. So
Okay, Smash is your worst attribute. So give me a single D6 roll here.
Okay. I will give you a single D6 roll. I rolled a 4.
All right, so a 4 means that we have a mixed success here. And you were using Smash. I'm just going to... Perfect. I got the same result on roll 20 here, so you can see exactly what this does. So you do succeed,
Awesome,
which is great. We'll process that in just a moment. After you succeed, you will lose a hit point, and I get to invoke a complication. So first off, tell me what this loose cannon does.
So this loose cannon, basically, I'm going to be like, target! And I'm going to basically charge forward and basically fire. And basically, while it does fire a large shell directly into the, the bedroom department here on the, basically off to the right, exploding cushions and other things and showering feathers everywhere. It also blows me backwards as the improperly mounted and basically dampened cannon whacks backwards after the shot.
Okay, so I have some bad news. I have some good news and some bad news.
All right.
The good news is you hit this scientist and it looks bad. Another hit like that, honestly, another hit a fraction of that power and it would be gone. The bad news, as you can see, your loose cannon, not very well secured. It blows a fuse on a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4. And you got a 4.
I got
so
a
you
4.
blow on this loose cannon. You cannot use it again until you spend an action repairing that fuse.
However, because I am the boom wagon, I get to ignore that first fuse loss for this round.
Yes, and that is because you have solar power as your power source. Yes,
Nice.
That is great. Yeah, the first time you go ahead.
It would have gone nuclear, but I use the power of the sun, which is not nuclear at all in any way. Just don't ask questions.
And thank you for reminding me that, because I forgot you had that ability. And you should really click that and put it in the chat as the Roll20 chat as well. But yeah, so you do not blow a fuse. However, I get to do a reaction to you. So that scientist that you shot, he is just a faceless thing with bulging, almost bug-like eyes where its face should be. And it spins towards you and pulls out like a comically, like, imagine like I just forgot, like a Flash Gordon style ray gun. It's got too many spirals, and it shoots it right at you. And I don't have to roll as the enemy. Unfortunately, this is the weakest enemy in the game. You take 1 harm.
All right.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that your mech has some amount of soak. Is that right?
It has 2 soak.
Okay, so these guys literally cannot hurt you. However, they also have the draining tag, so you will lose 1 fuel whenever they attack you.
Ah,
So you lose 1 diesel here.
okay. And I also lost a diesel for using the loose cannon as well, correct?
No, sorry, you use smash, you lose 1 hit point.
Okay.
So you lose one SP, sorry. You lose
Okay.
1 SP there.
There's 1 SP, and I lost a diesel for using an armament, correct?
No, you lost armaments don't cost diesel. You lost a diesel because he hit you with the draining keyword.
Okay.
Your munitions will cost diesel.
Right. Thank you.
But don't cost an action. So that was your first action. You have
Okay.
1 action left.
All right. Well, this guy just basically, how dare he attack me?
You started it.
I mean, let's not get too characteristic for this game about preemptive. It all works out in the wash. I have a gun and I'm going to fire it. Basically, I am going to. So the 2 which are in that next square over that I just fired at are at close or.
Those
Correct?
are near. Yeah,
Those are
you
just-
you 3 are close to each other, but that is
Okay.
at near range.
That's at near range. Okay. They're at near range, so I'm gonna lob a grenade in that direction.
Yes, this is your gunpowder grenade ability.
Yes. Choose
All
a
right,
point
and
near
what-
range. Deal 2 harm to all creatures close to that point and not back.
Yes. Incredible. So give me, what attribute are you using for this grenade? Is this
All
also
right.
smash, or is this a little more calculated?
Where this is going to be calculated. We're going to use the concealment from all the explosions and other stuff to go on to roll the gunpowder grenade in there, so that while he's firing at me and cackling because he thinks he's got a good hit in, I will subtly indicate at his feet the grenade, which will then explode. So I will roll 2d6 for sly.
Awesome.
1,
And we'll keep
2,
the highest here.
roll 5 and a 1.
All
Well,
right. That is a 5. 5 is a full success. Unfortunately,
that's a
we
fuse.
use your second highest die as the fuse die. And that second highest die is a 1. So you do blow this fuse, unfortunately.
Okay. So I have
So you blow
lost
this
my
fuse,
grenades.
but both of these creatures take 2 harm. That kills the first one. And the second one you have knocked back. If you'd like, you can push him back to another range.
Okay. I will knock him away from the briefcase.
Okay. Great news. Okay. Yeah, and he takes 2 harm. And you understand that another hit like that would take him out. Now, that is both of your actions.
Okay.
So unless you would like to use a munition, I think you are done.
I am done.
Okay. And yeah, so so these guys, these 4 guys up here where you just launched him, they're all close to each other now. All right, so that was 1 turn. That was our first turn in Cyberrats in Space. Yeah, if you mark that that grenade as blown, that would be great. And then who's next?
Do you want to hit it 20, or do you want me to go in first so I don't hurt you?
Well, I mean, yes, and also like I'm learning.
Trust issues.
Also, I'm having trouble reading the character sheet, so
Oh no.
Okay.
Just is it not rendering right, or are you having problems with it?
Well, I don't know if this is like buggy or if it's just the color it is, but I can't read the words very well. I have to like highlight the text to read it.
Are you on Firefox?
No, I'm on Chrome.
Interesting. If you scroll up, this is like the mech section. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
If you scroll up above it, I think everything should be duplicated above that section. Under where it says loadout, I think all the same information should be there except for the tug and the stompy legs.
Okay. That helps. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll look into that. But,
All right.
Okay. So Mike was gonna take it away here.
Yeah, I guess I will. So the problem is that I am now I can only move to the next zone, right?
That's right.
So I will spend one of my 2 actions moving to the next zone, but now I am 1 zone away from everybody.
Yep, you are near from everyone.
Near, but not close.
You found yourself in the
Okay.
furniture section. Bedding, mattresses.
Yes, lamps and mattresses, couches abound.
Then from here, can I use my sonic beam to target this guy here with the briefcase?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So what attribute are you using to target this guy?
Oh, that's a great question. Which attribute?
It'll be on the top right, just under your mech portrait.
Yeah. So my attributes are Smash, Sly, and Cyber.
That's right.
And so I guess I will use Cyber.
Okay. So Cyber, you have a 1 in, is that right?
I have a 3 in Cyber.
Oh, I must be looking at the wrong person. All right.
No, I'm looking at the wrong person. I have somehow ended up at the boom wagons. 1 second. Let's try this again.
Hands off my Mech.
I didn't mean to. There we go. Try this again. Hey, there we go. Yeah, I'll do Sly. Why not? Let's do Sly.
All right. So give me that 3d6 roll here. We'll keep the highest.
3d6.
So.
Basically the character, basically the characters in UI and things like that we are using for basically in the background for Roll20 is a basically a very rough crew drawing, so we're not showing that off on stream. But basically you can see the mechs and the dice rolling will happen here, so you can see the excitement as Mike manages to roll an incredibly average roll on 3d6 and back above a 3.
Pretty sure that's below average. It's average for me, maybe.
So the good news is on that 2 or that 3 here. So your highest die was a 3, so that is a mixed success. And then we look at your second highest die, which was also a 3. So you do not blow a fuse, so that is good. And you do get a mixed success. So let's resolve that first. You do this sonic beam. You're doing it at the guy right next to the briefcase. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Bam. He dies. He disintegrates in an overwhelming spiral of sonic noise. Exactly.
Hi.
So glad I'm behind that.
But because you use Sly, because that is a mixed success, you will become painted. And painted means that the next time they attack you, you'll take 1 extra damage. And it also means they're going to attack you first.
You've become a target.
And then I get
Hi.
to activate a guy. And this scientist right here, the one that has already been shot, is going to... Oh, he can't do that. That's so sad. He wanted to use his probe ability on you. But you are not close to him. Do not probe you. Keep that away.
Please, no probing. Not in the IKEA.
But this guy, his friend is going to run in here, clearly headed towards the briefcase. Now, that was your second action. Do you have any munitions you want to use? Because again, munitions do not cost actions.
Oh, right. I had not thought of that. Munitions. Oh yeah, totally. We're gonna activate all of the amazing lights. I probably have a disco ball hiding somewhere. Anyway, lights go flashing absolutely everywhere. And the one guy here next to me in close range is going to become weakened.
Okay, that is great because that means he does half damage, which will be great for offsetting your probed here.
Yeah.
And then spend that one diesel.
Yep. Spend the diesel. Where is my diesel?
Oh,
it's on the right
on
side.
the bottom right.
I got you. Cool. Thank you.
All right.
One diesel down.
And then if it wouldn't necessarily make sense here, but you could use that as many times as you wanted.
No,
so
I'm
you
good. Thank you.
And every condition you can apply stacks. So like I've had people come in with like the heavy hitters and just say, I'm going to apply weakened 4 times. And this guy is
nice.
No damage here. Or I think you
I
can
love
also
it.
apply screwed, which doubles harm. And again, you can stack
for sure.
that again and again and again and again.
You're just that one
Okay.
DJ just holding down the air horn button, just
Absolutely.
Exactly. All right, so Kermie, hopefully you've had a chance to see how this system works. Blow us away with your first turn here.
Oh, geez. That's not
What's the frog up to?
sure at all. Okay, where's my cheat sheet? Over here. So if I'm in the place that I'm standing in.
Yep, you're in the entry here. There's no one close to you.
Okay, that's what I was checking for. Thank you.
The boom wagon is close.
It's
to
just
you.
me and my exploding. Are you
no enemies are close.
Yes.
I'm more worried about enemies. I'm not looking to attack my my compatriots.
Yeah. We haven't reached that point yet.
Right. Yeah. Friendly fire is not my primary goal.
Excellent. Your companions love to hear that.
Yeah. I'm trying to engender a similar response from a certain Michael.
I have a rep.
Okay, I'm not close. Okay. I'm going to hop over.
Okay, so with hop, you can move 2 range bands as one action.
Yes. I'm going to hop over to the briefcase and pick it up.
Okay, love it.
Now it becomes a protect the frog.
So, bam. So you have the briefcase on you. Great.
Kermit the Frog here.
And once again, for players who may have missed it, The goal of this is the enemies are trying to escort this briefcase to the back exit of the IKEA, and our players here win if they can stop the briefcase from getting there.
Is there anything I notice about the briefcase when I pick it up that makes it look anything different than just a briefcase?
It is, so it's a little hard because like you're in a mech here. Are you like just gobbling it up, or are you picking it up with your little mech arms?
Do I have little mech arms?
We can assume you have some kind of grappling device.
Okay, yeah, like, let's assume I grabbed it and picked it up in front of my pilot's eyes here.
Love it. It is like you're seeing the like readouts on your display here, and this you'd expect a briefcase to weigh between like 5 and maybe 15 pounds, and like you can hear the metal groaning under the weight of this thing. It is way denser than it should be. But otherwise, it looks almost exactly like a normal briefcase. As you spin it around, you can see some alien writing on the back that looks an awful lot like a warning.
Huh. Okay. And it's not radioactive or anything, is it?
I mean, who among us isn't a little radioactive?
Right?
In core Cyberrats, you are all actually addicted to a glowing green goo that gives you psychic powers.
Oh.
And this game, we're focusing more on the mech side of it. But yeah, typically, like your people, you would get, if you look at the top of your character sheet, you have powers that is just blank here. But normally you would be able to just summon swords or mind control people.
A little radioactive.
So radioactive isn't. It's whatever.
It probably says, drop this and run. The traditional radioactive. Was it cesium?
Yes. Cesium.
Yeah. All right.
Drop and run.
Okay.
Okay, so that was just one action.
Right.
Right, there's a guy next to the disco ball you can possibly shoot at. Or you could attempt to head deeper into the IKEA.
A way to shoot it.
I mean,
okay.
it would never enter to the boom wagons.
Deal harm to up to 3 close enemies, or pull 1 near too close and immobilize them. Yeah, I would like to target the nearest enemy with Mr. Slick Stick.
Mr. Slick Stick. Great. So that is an armament. So I'm going to need an attribute roll. What attribute are you using to activate Mr. Slick Stick?
I get to pick.
You get to pick?
It affects your roll and affects your consequences.
Yes.
What happens if I pick Cyber?
So you have a 0 in Cyber. So if you pick Cyber, 2 things happen. The first is you automatically blow a fuse. And the second is that you will roll 2 dice and pick the lower.
Oh, interesting.
I don't recommend it.
No, I don't think I would like to do that. Okay, in that case, I'm going to use Smash.
Great choice.
That's
all right. Give me that Smash roll here.
So how many d6 do I roll then?
So that'll be 3 d6, and we're going to be looking at the highest one to see your success, and the second highest one to see if you blow a fuse.
All right.
So our highest roll here is a 6. Woohoo! And our second highest is a 3. Full success there.
DD dices.
So
interesting physics on that one.
It just sort of sprang across the screen there. So this guy is pulled towards you with Mr. Slick Stick. And he can't move. He is just covered in a thick goo, rooted to the ground, or maybe the floor or the wall. I mean, maybe he's just like stuck to the wall. Like, oh,
Like,
yeah, he's deeply unhappy with his life.
Some kid.
Now that was
Yeah.
2 actions from you. Would you care to use any munitions before we start the enemy phase?
No.
Okay. This guy, so now I get to act. So the enemy phase, a few things happen. And the first thing that happens is that I get to, sorry, give me just a second here. First thing that happens is that I get to activate a bunch of enemies. And I get to activate 4 enemies. I get to activate 1 enemy for each of you, plus 1 enemy for free. So the more of you there are, the more enemies I get to activate.
Incoming.
Yes. So I get to activate 5 guys here. Oh, sorry, 4 guys. It just keeps going up.
I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't math.
6,
Sorry.
7.
Yeah, I get to activate 19 guys. No.
Hold up.
So the very first thing that happens at the start of the enemy phase is we have a phase called Cycle. And Cycle is basically just like an upkeep phase where things happen. So sometimes you'll have enemies that say like, Cycle, increase the damage dealt by all your attacks. Or you'll have abilities that say like, Cycle, gain a diesel. So Cycle are just things that happen every round, and they happen at the start of the enemy phase. I don't have any Cycle effects here in play, so I will skip that one. And I'll go right towards activating 4 people. And the first one...
Hey, if you activate 5 guys, you owe me a burger. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and fries.
And don't forget the fries.
Yeah. So I'm going to activate this first one who's immobilized. It's great that you immobilized him because he wants nothing more than to get up and run away with this briefcase. And he cannot do that. What he can do, however, is hit you for 1 harm, which you have more soak than that. So these guys literally cannot hurt you.
Banging on the mic.
Because you have 1 soak. He hits you for 1, but he can do draining. So once again, he takes a diesel from you. So he's going to take a diesel from the mech here, from the frog mech. And then these 2 scientists are going to come. Oh, and actually, yeah, and he was weakened anyway, so you wouldn't have even taken any damage, even if he could hit you. Now, Mike, you are painted. So when this engineer hits you for 1, he actually hits you for 2. Does that make a difference? How much soak do you have?
I have soak 4. No, I do not have soak 4. I have soak. That was because I was looking at the wrong character sheet.
This inflation.
No, I have soak 5 actually.
Soak 5.
I have all kinds of soak.
Yeah, this guy hits you for 2 harm. You don't even know. It doesn't even scratch the paint. He's shooting his tiny little thing at you, but they're both going to hit you, so you're going to lose another 2 diesel because both of these guys are going pew pew pew.
No.
And then finally, I am going to activate this guy. And this guy is a creep. So the guys we've been fighting so far, these are like faceless alien scientists. They've got the big bulbous heads, no face, big eyes, just big black bulbous eyes. These guys here, these are cuddaloids. And they are a little more underwater looking. They're somewhere between like an insect and an octopus. They have tentacles and arms coming out of places where tentacles and arms should not be coming out of. They have pinchers and beaks and chitinous shells. They ooze when they walk. It's really distressing. And he is going to reach out with those same caustic tentacles, and they're going to slap wetly against your mech. And he is going to pull you close to him.
Aww.
And he says something that roughly translates
that's rude.
to Papa wants a hug.
Uh-huh.
So that was my
Creep
four
is right.
activations.
Bad touch, bad
Next
touch, bad
thing that
touch.
I get to do is I get to change the battlefield. And again, the change will be different every round. And the next one will be quite fun. But this time what changes is these barriers change. So IKEA is full of shortcuts. And these are going to move and slide around. And so areas that were previously, this doesn't mean much to our viewers here, but areas that were previously very far away from each other are now adjacent to each other as walls in this IKEA. Well, I did not mean for that to happen.
That's a cool shape.
The wall, one of the walls bent in half. Basically, for our viewers who can't see this, basically, we are
For
staring
chat,
at.
it went from a straight wall to like this.
It went from an
245.
L to
Seven.
a V.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically,
It's quite an acute angle.
I didn't know it could do that.
Clearly.
And I
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just going to give a quick brief description. Basically, so the boom wagon has found himself isolated. Basically, walls have sprung up between him and his allies. The frog and basically the boombox. Beatbox. Sorry, Beatbox. I'm the boom wagon. He's the Beatbox. Together, we should definitely at some point. We have to become a boombox at some point. We'll get to that. Basically, find themselves together. Basically, in one long corridor, and all of the creeps are now funneled directly towards them.
And there are still separate zones, but yeah, there are walls that make some of those zones impassable. And then the final part, and maybe the player's favorite part, is all of those enemies that you killed, just like a video game, drop loot. And every enemy faction has a different loot table. And so I get to generate and I get to roll different loot here. Now, I'm sorry, ignore what just popped up in the Roll20. You didn't see it. Our people didn't see it. Because that was me rolling on the Cyberrats 1 table and not the Cyberrats space. Here you go. So, hang on. Nope, that's still wrong. 1 second.
The worst part is basically the fact that Boomwagon killed all these people, and he's been separated from his loot.
Loot can be distributed between you however you want.
Okay.
And they drop 1 fuel, which can be used as either diesel or biotech. Biotech is that glowing green fuel that activates your pilot's powers. You don't have any. We're skipping over that. This is a demo of Cyberrats in space. It's all mechs, baby.
Woo!
So it's 1 diesel and then 1 health, which again, you could give to your pilot. There's no need. Your pilot is surrounded in a big chunk of metal. Take that as SP, take that as structure points, and put that right into your mech. So who wants that diesel and who wants that SP?
Am I the only one who's actually taken SP damage?
Oh, and I'm so sorry.
Yep.
I should mention this. There's no limit to these numbers. They can go up, 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 up as high as you want.
All right.
I was just going to ask,
Nice.
can you accrue past your beginning amount?
Yep.
Oh yeah, you can have 800 SP. I had a playtest a few weeks ago where one of the players had, I think, 40 diesel starting the game with.
Nice.
They were like, this is just what I do. They optimized for it.
Nice.
That's amazing.
They said, Alex, did I break your game? I said, that's not possible. It's not that kind of game.
That's what we like to hear. All right, so you guys are in the thick of it. Good.
To answer your question, Mark, I have not taken any SP damage, but I am down 1 diesel.
Well, you're in the thick of it, so you and you've got the briefcase. So you taking basically you are the beatbox taking the loot makes sense since you're in the thick of it. Whereas I'm now sheltered in I'm fighting the grocery. All the carts have all ranged up against me, and I'm having to fight my way past them. I'll be there in a second. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm down a bunch of diesel. If you don't mind me taking the diesel, you can have the SP, and we'll.
I mean, you two can. Yep.
No, I don't.
Does that work,
I
20?
mean,
40, I don't think.
sure, I'll take the SP.
You can go up from on the SP. You can go up to 2.
Right. Yeah.
Perfect. I'm about to
Yeah.
blow some diesel, I think.
Yeah, you start
No
with
reason.
only 1 SP, which is very scary, especially if you're rolling Smash. But you can spend Diesel instead of SP, so that makes you that makes you a little more survivable.
Exactly.
Okay, so that is and then the final step of the enemy phase, which is stylized in all caps, is that we clear conditions. So every condition that was not applied just now gets cleared. So this guy who was stuck to the wall and immobilized, he can run again.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And he's no longer weakened, and you're no longer painted, and all that jazz. So every condition wears off, and now it is the top of round 2, which means it's back to the players, and you can act in any order, just like before. It can be the same order, a new order, however you want to roll it. It's up to you.
I will let you guys go first
So-
because after I finish moving, I generally just explode lots of things. So the more free targets I have, the better.
Do we have a goal with the briefcase if we are in control of it?
If that's a great question. Yeah, if you get it here, I will add an entrance over here. If you get it to here, I'll say that it is fully secured.
Nice. Well, then I vote that the
I'll say if you
briefcase
end
holder
the
goes
round
first.
with it there. If you end the round with it there, it's yours.
Nice.
All right.
Go 20. Go. You got this.
Okay, in that case, I would like to hop all the way to the left by that other homie.
All right, and that is 1 action, hop, because you can move 2 as 1 action. You can move 2 spaces as 1 hop. So there's this long hallway in the corridor of the IKEA, and you hopped from the kitchen area straight to the party area at the other end of a hallway. Bam! And you are surrounded by balloons and tanks of helium and clown apparel and
clown accessories.
yeah. Well, you've got party poppers and birthday hats and
Circus
things-
music in the background.
this circus music. They only sort of understand what a birthday party is, so there's some things that are not quite right. It's there's something that has the texture of a piñata, but it's in the shape of a rattlesnake, and you're I don't really know if that would work.
Yeah. Okay. And then I would like to stompy legs the
Yes.
homie next to me.
And what attribute are you using with your stompy legs?
Oh, I will just stick with the smash.
All right, smash that guy.
Okay, hold on.
Give me that
I
stompy
wanna-
leg roll. That is 3d6.
Stompy legs. Oh my god, I freaking
Stompy legs.
and 3d6. I have to find the dice roller. Where'd I put it? Okay.
And this could hit 2 people, but there's only 1 guy in stomping range. And that's a full success.
Woo!
And
Look at
this
those
stompy
sixes.
legs, this is not an armament. This is something you have from your mode of locomotion. So yeah, anyone can take stompy legs as their mode of locomotion. You can also take hover tracks or rockets or treads, whatever you want. But you took stompy legs. This guy, you stomp him, stomp, stomp, stomp. He's getting stomped by a frog. He's getting tossed all over the place. He looks bad. If he got stomped like that again, he would not be coming home to his family. That is both of your actions. Do you have a munition you would like to spend that sweet, sweet diesel on? Or are you good? I see you eyeing belly flop.
Yeah. I'm gonna belly flop this homie.
All right. So belly flop, as a munition, you don't have to roll. It cannot fail. You just spend that 3 diesel, and you can do this as many times as you have diesel for it. But you spend this 3 diesel, and belly flop, your frog jumps into the air and just plops onto the ground, this metallic thunk reverberating out. And belly flop is great because it does only 1 damage, but it does true harm, which means if these guys have any soak that are just, softening up these blows, it bypasses it. And this guy only has
Nice.
1 hit point left. So that 1 true harm that you did to every single close enemy was enough to finish this poor sucker off.
That sounds
And
like
now
a-
Kermie will let the other 2 pilots know that Kermie is now out of fuel. You have to come help me.
Dope.
It sounds really loud in that room. I'm hearing a lot of squeaking.
You shouldn't be hearing any squeaking anymore.
No, that's good.
Maybe
That's good.
just some wet squelching.
Well, you're in the cloud section, so I'm expecting that you're getting this clown shoes, basically, like bike
I mean, there might be some.
I feel like I should mention that there is a mech that is just a clown.
Oh my god!
It's called the Juggler, and it's a tank because everyone hates it. And if I'd known that was the audience, I would have brought one of those. Who's next? Who's next?
I guess I'll take on something. So it looks like I got one guy here that's technically in near range. I think he's like right on the line, and one guy in close range to me.
Yeah, here, I'll make these. So yeah, you've got this guy up here. He can be, where would you rather him be? Close or near?
I mean, if he's in close range, that works real well for me.
You got it. He's in close.
He trips.
He
was
Perfect.
on the
forward.
line.
The
Yeah.
fool.
All right. We are going to spend 2 diesel to screech.
All right. And tell me what Screech does.
So the speakers rev up, and then they all
Friendly
get
fire in
screwed.
RIRL. Glad I turned down your mic.
They'll get screwed, taking double harm. And
Excellent.
we're gonna follow that up by blasting the stereo to deal 2 harm to all close creatures. Maybe a little metal music coming out of there.
Oh, nice.
And your stereo is an armament, so I'm going to need a dice roll for that. Screech, of course, is automatic. And like I said,
And so-
Screwed does stack. You could apply Screwed 2, 3, 4 times. It gets crazy. I was
Nice.
running a streamed game last weekend where I think I had an enemy that was doing 50 damage. I thought it was a player, but no, it was an enemy.
Wow.
It's very scary. They were fine.
Need
Uh,
that torso anyway.
yeah, exactly. And I'm sorry, did we get a dice roll there?
Nope. So you need I'm gonna do sly again. So that's 3 dice. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's see it.
Yeah, baby.
All right. That is a 6 and a 3 is the 2 highest. So that armament does not blow, and that stereo happens. And what does that stereo do? What does it sound like? Tell it to me.
Trevor removes headphones. It's like being next door to a German
And what's
rock
the effect
concert.
of it?
The effect is because of the screwed, everybody in close range takes 4 harm.
That's right. They would all take 2. It is doubled to 4, and that is enough to drop both of these nasty, oozy, tentacly people. So that is 2
Goodbye,
more drops
balls.
that I will be generating. Now, if I'm not wrong, Mike, that was just 1 single action from you.
That was 1 single action. So I'm going to do my move over here and follow Kermie. And I believe that movement allows me to regain a diesel.
Oh, yes. And that is because you have as your,
A shit ton of AAs.
yes, your power source is a shit ton
Uh-huh.
of double A's. Can I say shit ton on this stream?
You did
just
just did. I
did.
think we're good.
Yeah.
Whew. So yes, because you are, again,
Boom.
every mech can choose a one way of locomotion, such as our stompy legs on our frog, one power source, such as a shit ton of double A's, one shoulder mount. We don't have any shoulder mounts here, and one undercarriage mount, which can be something like exposed wiring, or it can be a floating sensor bar. Pick your poison. But they all do different things. And that was
Yep.
2 actions. You get that diesel back. And I think that makes it Mark's turn.
It does.
Does.
I am going to basically upset by these walls that are basically have slid into place, denying me my valuable kills. I'm going to angrily stomp one zone, and then a second zone. And then I am going to let's go ahead and preemptively blow a different fuse.
Oops.
We'll use my ammunition. We'll use tactical power surge.
Okay. Blow a fuse.
So
The
weird.
next armament you activate this turn targets 2 additional creatures. And sorry, and you told me what fuse you were blowing, right?
I am going to blow the basically gunpowder is already gone. So we will go with this guy, those guys, that guy's far, and that guy is far. So we'll go with the loose cannon. We'll get its fuse blown.
Before you do this, I do hate to rain on your parade.
Sure.
But unless you, I don't think you have enough actions to use unless you started with no diesel, I think you're out of actions.
Oh, you're right. Because, musician doesn't cost an action.
No, but the armament that would activate would.
Okay. The double move is 2 movement. Right.
Right.
Got it. You're correct. So I will just stand here and basically, and I guess I can.
Looks
I can
scary.
You probably don't want to blow that fuse.
No, I will probably not blow that fuse, and I will instead basically prepare for combat. And I will
All right.
keep fuses unblown.
All right. Sounds good to me. And that is 1, 2, 3 of you, which means it's time for everyone's favorite part. It's another enemy phase.
Wait.
Yes.
First off, I would do any cycle effects, which are either horrifying or fun, depending on what mechs you have at table. There is one mech that just hands out cycle effects of every cycle you gain a diesel, and they can just stack it up on every person. We have a support mech like that. We have mechs that just gain diesel every round. There's also a power that I almost gave to one of you where you can pick an enemy and that enemy gains a new stack of screwed every round.
Nice.
Which is really bad. Okay, then I get to activate my 4 guys. And I am going to start by activating this guy, our Cuddleoid, who is right next. Actually, let's be smart about this, Alex. I'm going to be really mean.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, I can't because there's walls. I can only be a little mean.
Haha. Screwed yourself.
So each of the enemies, the way enemies in Cyberrats work is that they have a small block of stats, which gives them like their hit points and how much shard and soak they have, how much damage they do at various ranges. And they also have tags. We've seen the draining tag, where these scientists take away your diesel. And they have moves that they can use instead of attacking. And I will use one of those moves now. This scientist is going to move to you, and then he's going to probe you. And that applies 1 stack of screwed. I was going to apply more, but these other guys can't get near you, unfortunately.
Sir, this is an IKEA.
This scientist, that was 1 activation. This scientist is going to use his activation. He has he's going to move, and he has a power called Give Orders, where he allows this guy to take an action. And his action is move. Then this guy is going to activate. He's going to move and probe you, take another stack of screwed. Don't worry, you'll be fine. You really will be fine. This will show off one of my favorite mechanics here. And then for my fourth and final activation, I'm going to activate this Cuddaloid. And this Cuddaloid is going to move to here because he actually does more damage at near range. And then he is going to hit you for 3 harm, which, because you're screwed twice, would become 6, would become 12 harm coming at you. Which is a horrifying amount, because how much SP do you have?
I have currently 11. With 2 soaks.
Except you have 2 soak and you have 1 shard, is that right?
Correct.
So that shard will absorb this entire attack. You would have 10 harm coming at you, because it'd be 12 soaked down to 10. 10 harm coming at you. This shard takes it. You take no harm from this massive attack.
Wow.
Now,
But my
you are
shard
out
is
of
gone.
shard, and these guys are much scarier. And
All
that
right.
was the activation part of the enemy phase. Now it comes for the change. And this is everyone's favorite part, the change. You know how I said that you were in the party room?
Yeah.
You know what the party room is full of? It is full of helium tanks.
Oh
And
no.
those helium
Oh.
tanks have been hit with the crossfire. They are spewing out everywhere. We do not have to do the voice. Please do not do the voice. But this entire IKEA now has the tag helium rich, which
Ah.
means that for the next round,
Nice.
give me just a second because I want to make sure that I have this right. Helium rich, double. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is not that interesting. I'm going.
It's
so
just all speaking of funny
I-
voices.
I'm just going. I'm going to call an audible here. And
Sure.
I might even add a new tag to this. So helium rich, what it does is it doubles every number on every item that is used in a zone. We don't have items here, so I'm going to say that every attack has every number doubled. That's for both you and for the enemies. Because I don't have items here, unfortunately, but that's going to make everything a little more dangerous. In fact, I'll keep that easier. I'll just say this. I will say everyone is screwed. You all have a stack of screwed. The enemies all have a stack of screwed. Everybody
Nice.
is screwed. And I'll make, if we don't already have a tag for that, I'll make one. But that is the end of that part of the enemy phase. Now we are at drops, where I'll generate. We dropped 3 people this round, and I roll my handy little drop table. And that tells me that we get 2 fuel and 1 health. Who wants it?
I mean,
Can I have some fuel, please?
Yes, you take the fuel, all the fuel.
Okay, and then we have 1 health, 1 SP.
Hey, big boy, why don't you take that?
I'll take that since I found
Boomer.
myself in the center of stuff.
Oh.
Did you just call him okay,
Okay,
boomer,
Boomer.
me? Did you just okay boomer me?
And
I'll have you banned from this IKEA.
and then
speak to your
everyone
manager.
would clear their conditions
Okay,
now.
Chad.
And just to give a little more context, other things that the enemies could drop in addition to fuel and health, which we've seen, they could drop construction pieces, which would be used for the base building part of this game, which we'll talk about in downtime. Or they could drop alien weapons. The same weapons they've been using against you, you could just pick up and use right back against them.
Uh-huh.
But this time they
convenient.
just drop fuel and health. Now we are, I believe this mission is about to end. We have the briefcase. We are right next to the thing. If I hadn't gotten so focused on doing all that damage, I would have had the Cuddaloid start pulling you away from the exit. But I got distracted. So
I acted as a distraction. I've done my job.
top of the round, who wants it?
I mean, we give it to the frog and the frog
Jeremy.
leaves.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
frog leaves. The frog hits the exit. Come on, guys!
I mean, we could blow stuff up. But,
Feel free to blow it up behind me as I leave the building.
All
If it's
right.
helium rich, is it flammable?
Absolutely, yeah.
See,
That's how helium
I'm
works.
setting you up for
Yeah.
fun on your turn.
That's why everyone's
Mark.
screwed. That is why.
Yes.
Tony. Don't make 20 croak.
Wow.
Frog moves to the exit.
All right, Frog is out. If you can stay there until the end of the round. Honestly, I'm confident that you can stay here. I'm not going to do anything nasty like pull anything out. So what I'll say here is use the rest of this round to kill as many enemies as you can, get some of those drops, and then we will call this and jump straight into the fun and exciting abridged downtime segment.
Woo!
So who's dropping enemies?
All right.
Uh,
I don't have enough fuel for rocket jump, so I can't do that one.
can get one.
I've got. My gunpowder grenade is basically my gunpowder grenade is currently blown, so I have to spend an action repairing that fuse.
All right.
Here,
so
look, can I go first then?
Go for it. Go for it.
I got a plan.
Take it
Okay.
away.
So I'm going to go ahead and use a sonic beam at this guy just to the north of me.
Yep. Sonic beam.
That's
that
a
is
single action.
Devastating attack. Yep.
It's I mean, we're basically focusing the sound waves,
And you know I'm going to make
probably
you
doing
roll.
some sort of a major bass drop there. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I have to roll for that. Yeah.
Drop the beat.
That's right. And if this hits, it will drop that guy. These cuddaloids, they're not strong. They're gross, but they're not strong.
Glad that 6 showed up because that 1 and that 2 weren't great.
All right, so that is a full success. We got a 6-1-2, so the fuse does not even blow. The more that you upgrade these weapons, because every armament can be upgraded and given
Yeah.
more tags and more things it can do, the
Yeah.
more you upgrade it, the higher chance of that fuse blowing is. But you
Nice.
have a nice unupgraded one. You hit this guy with this sonic boom, and he is absolutely blown away. Even with his one measly soak, he is just devastated. And that was your first action.
It was. For my second action, I'm going to move over here next to my buddy, and we're Boom Wagon, and what we're going to do is drop a munition on him. Amp it up. Choose a
Yeah.
close ally, double the next harm they would deal.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right.
So I gained
Oh.
a diesel from moving in, and then I'm spending that diesel for the munitions. So
Excellent. And you can do that as many times as you want. If you have more diesel, you can just keep stacking that up, make it silly. I also did forget to mention, I'm so sorry. Your
Yeah.
sonic boom, you did, it was 5 harm. That guy was screwed. That was 10 harm. He is obliterated.
He is scattered all over the cabinetry section. Doors,
Yeah.
glass doors,
All right.
covered in alien goop.
He's dripping.
Since we're wrapping this
No,
up,
the
I'm going to go ahead and
comics-
spend 2 more diesel.
Okay.
So that's a total
Right.
of 3 diesel for doubling.
All right.
It's
So
doubling
you
3
are
times,
now-
I believe.
You are now at 16x damage. 1
Okay.
from screwed and 3 from doubling. Don't miss.
All right. Well, basically, the cuddle-like things are just kind of there, but the scientists I have a problem with. So we're going to make sure that the scientists do not escape this place.
All right.
We're going to blow a fuse on the pulsar tube cannon to power the munition, a tactical power surge. So the next armament I activates targets 2 additional creatures. So
Great.
that's down.
I'm so confused.
And
Go
So
work.
the boom wagon is our most complex mech that we have at this playtest, and he has a thing where he can deliberately blow fuses as if he had rolled low to boost up and power up other armaments. Basically saying, I'm
I
going to
see.
disable this one, so my next attack does double harm, or my next attack hits 2 more people.
Okay.
It's a resource management game they have to play.
Yep. And then I'm going to fire the loose cannon, deal 3 harm
Yes.
to a close or near creature. And I'm going to target all 3 scientists with that, between the combination of
Excellent.
that and the tactical power surge. So
All
for
right,
this,
and give,
good.
I'm gonna need the roll here in a moment.
Okay. Like do I need one roll? What for targeting?
Yep, just one single roll for
okay.
using the ability.
This is obviously me playing this. Obviously, I'm having to flip a lot of switches and gauge distances and time stuff. So this is a cyber roll, 100%. So we will
Absolutely.
roll
It's
3
a
dice.
calculated,
Yes.
a calculated exorcism of the scientists from here.
Okay. So
We get this dice roll is coming in hot. They are
3d6.
sliding across the table. That is a 6 and a 5. There we go. Full success. That is 48 damage to each of these 3 guys. That is 3 harm, multiple, doubled, and doubled to 48. And these guys had at most 4 hit points. One of them had 2 from when you hit him forever ago.
Well, the good news is
I'm not even sorry.
And the good news is that the Swedish meatballs section now has new mystery meat to put into their.
No.
Incredible. And that brings us, I believe, to the end of the round. I will not do anything tricky here. I will just generate your drops. And look at that. We got 1 construction piece we can bring back home.
Woo! We will pick up the remains and head out.
Yes. So this mission is a full success. That was a 90-minute whirlwind demo of what Cyberrats in Space is about. I mentioned that the Boom Wagon is the most complex mech we have in this playtest. We do have mechs of a variety of complexity. The absolute highest complexity mech is the Hot Box, which is an all-in-one kitchen appliance. It slices, it dices, and it juliennes. And it gets hot and cold. It has heat management. So you have different powers that activate whether you are hot or cold. Each of your powers activates heat, and you can vent it out. And that is the most complex you have for people who really want that level of crunch and management. But then we have simpler mechs like the Frog that's just get up and eat people, or other mechs that are completely. I cannot think of a single other mech that we have right now.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What was in the briefcase?
Oh, I have no idea. Don't worry about it.
It opens up and gives you a golden glow from Reservoir Dogs.
Pulp Fiction.
Is it Pulp Fiction?
Pulp
That's
Fiction.
right.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Reservoir Dogs doesn't have the glowing briefcase.
But yeah, we have mechs themed after all sorts of different things, different complexity. And let's see. Yeah, so you got the briefcase, you're able to come in. And like if we were doing like a full mission here, like if we're doing a full campaign, I might say, oh, since you recovered the briefcase, I'll give you some extra bonus, some extra resource you can use on your base upgrade. But that is the mission phase. So Cyberrats takes place over, it's a strong cycle of play system. And what that cycle of play looks like is we have the mission briefing, where I present you 3 missions. We have loadout, where you pick who's going on the missions, what mechs they're taking. You can unlock other mechs throughout the game as well, so you might have like a spare that anyone could take. And then we play out our primary mission. Right now, we would come home, we would roll for our secondary mission. We would say, okay, who went on that? What kind of mechs do they have? How powerful are they? We build up a big dice pool, and then we would roll it just like any other. On a 5 or 6, it's a full success. Anything less than that, we have to start either injuring pilots who went on that mission or killing them. If any of you had been injured, you would have to go and spend time at the med bay. If your mech had been injured, you just send it to the repair bay, and so on and so on. That's called the performance review, where I give you money. I'd say, hey, you all completed this mission. If you defeated at least 1 enemy, you get 1 scrap, which you can use to upgrade your mech. If you survived, you get 1 scrap, and if you won, you get an extra d6 of scraps. You would all roll for your scrap. And then I would say, okay, how do people want to spend their scrap? And if you're wondering, like, what can you spend your scrap on? Whole bunch of stuff. Again, you might have to repair your body or your mech at the clinic or repair bay. It's not free to heal. You can also buy down. I mentioned that the enemies have victory meters and threat meters that say how close they are to winning or how close they are, how dangerous they are. You can buy those down. We have a construction piece, so we can buy all sorts of new buildings at the base. And those base buildings can unlock new features and new mechanics so that you're not overwhelmed by everything at the front. You can say, hey, I want to start dropping flags that affect the zone that they are dropped in. Let's unlock that mechanic. Or I want to unlock drones and have a little pet drone that flies around and gives me passive benefits.
Nice.
You can unlock those rooms, or even just I want more items or what have you. And there's 100 other ways you can spend that money. You can buy new armaments, new munitions for your mechs. You can upgrade what you have. You can make your attributes better. But that is how you can spend your money. I'll go over downtime in just a bit, but are there any questions? I've been talking for endlessly here. Okay.
No.
So I just want to talk briefly about what downtime looks like. So after a mission, we get downtime. And this is where we would take turns asking each other questions. I would say, 20, how does Kermie relax after this mission?
Kermie goes and has a session in the sauna and the hot tub to let the tension seep out of their body.
Incredible. So we would go around asking questions like this, and then there's a ritual that I really like where we would pass the downtime dice, where each of us in turn would say, I have a downtime die, and I nominate Mark because that was just an incredible final turn here. I'm going to give my downtime die to Mark. And you would note that on your character sheet, and at any time on the next mission, you could spend that downtime die whenever you want. You're like, this is an important roll. I can't afford to get a 1 here. I'm going to add that extra die to that roll. We would also reset all of our resources, our HP, our diesel, and then everyone would get a downtime action. So 20, you mentioned that Kermie's hanging out at the sauna. You could say that's just flavor, or we have actions like go to the gym where you can like try and improve your things. We have stargazing where you can relax. So you can actually do these actions that also have a mechanical benefit. And everyone gets to do one of these actions as well. And I'm just looking here. We have things like roommate duty, where you do the dishes to keep your roommate relationship happy. Spending time with a friend. Spending time with a friend lets you start the next mission linked up together. We didn't get into it in this playtest here, in this demo here, but you can link your mechs together as an action. And you could be like, we're going to spend time together. We're going to hang out. And at the next mission, our mechs are still linked up because we had a sleepover.
Awesome.
And
oh no.
probably
That's
my favorite
great.
one on here is Experiment in the Kitchen, where you either start the next mission energized, which is like a huge bonus to mechanically it's great, or if it's a failure, you basically have the runs. You roll a -1 die on everything for the next mission. It's really bad. So like Experiment in the Kitchen is probably my favorite one, but there's all sorts of options. There's also one that's really fun thematically that I haven't had anyone take yet, but it's Resign Yourself to Your Fate. And it is, you will die at the end of the next mission, but you basically cannot miss rolls. You can't drop to 0 hit points. Your mech cannot be stopped. Like, you are going out with a bang on your own turn.
Nice.
Being like, here we go,
Nice.
boys. So
Going
we have all
down
these
in a
different
blaze
things
of
you can do.
glory.
Exactly. And then
Wow.
the final thing I want to talk about in Downtime is we can establish relationships. I mentioned that you can be roommates. Roommates lets you borrow each other's items, even if you're not linked up. And items, I didn't talk about items in this playtest, but items are just really cool stuff that you can do that does not take an action to use. So it can be a med pick or a grenade, med pack or a grenade, or a portal gun, or a giant reflective mirror that shines the next attack back at them.
Ha.
It doesn't take an action to use. You can just keep using these items. And unlike a lot of RPGs, it's not like you have to decide, oh, what's my best time to use my jetpack because I use it and it goes away. If you have 2 jetpacks, you get 2 jetpacks every mission. So you can just keep using them all the time.
Spam them.
Another relationship we established in our previous book in the expansion, Cyberrats Rise of the Briny Bastards, is Crush, where you can decide with consent. You can say, hey, Mike, would it be all right if my character had a crush on yours? And if you said that was okay, I would write your name on my character sheet with little hearts around it. And at any point in the mission,
Nice.
I can jump in and throw myself in front of an attack that you would take. But then I have to confess my feelings to you afterward.
Oh my
Nice.
No.
And if I don't confess my feelings, our relationship becomes weird. And that means everyone on the mission is rolling fewer dice.
Awkward. It's just tense, and they're fighting, and it's
That's
just,
funny.
That's great. That's
So-
great.
And then like I mentioned, base building. Yeah, we have all sorts of rooms you can build, and they unlock different benefits either for your mechs or just for the crew in general. There's the M shop, which just gives another capstone ability to every mech, similar to the tug, where it's just another passive thing that you can do. But again, it adds that more complexity. So we gated it away and said, buy it when you're ready. When you figured out what you start with, here's that next step you can do. Or if you say, I don't want to engage with this mechanic, you don't have to. So that is
Nice.
that's everything I've got. Happy to answer any other questions anyone has, but otherwise, thank you all so much for playing.
This is awesome.
Yeah, this
Uh,
is great.
Yeah.
Like, and to be clear, I think it's fun and cool on its own, but the different abilities, the way the mechs work, the way you've described them, opens up so many role-playing opportunities, right? It makes it easy to just slide into character and do the thing, and I find that truly enjoyable. As soon as I read the descriptions of the 3 mechs, I'm like, these are all cool, but I want to be a Beatbox. That's amazing.
I'm glad you liked them. I'll let you know the other mechs we have. We have the Dynamo, who just generates
Nice.
diesel for other people.
Yeah.
A Germinator,
Sorry.
which is just repurposed farm equipment. The Germinator
Nice.
goes hand in hand with the Predator, and the Predator is just basically a tow truck. It just has cables and it's always pulling people in and immobilizing them. I mentioned the Hot Box, which is our most complex. The Juggler is the clown that tank, and then we have the Spider is a support mech that is really good at linking up with other people, and like is just more powerful the more people it's linked up to. And finally, we have the Leftovers, which is the Leftovers is a meat mech that is made out of the remains of previously deceased interns. Yeah, it's really distressing. It's a horror mech, and it's the easiest to use if you're doing a hybrid game with Cyberrats core, because you can use your career powers inside the mech, whereas normally your biotech powers you have to dismount to use, but this one lets you just like use those telekinetic powers. Oh, I just poured water everywhere.
No.
Don't do that.
Come back.
Disaster.
Dang it.
Please.
That
hold
does
on.
sound distressing.
Yeah. And I think that the leftover, I don't want to give credit where it's not due, but he earns a lot of credit, and I think that the leftovers was the brainchild of our illustrator, Boog, who is fantastic and has contributed more to this game than I can possibly enumerate. And I think that the leftovers was his.
Basically, I should increase the size of these so basically people at home can see the full extent of these awesome mech designs here.
Yes, and each of these mechs, I don't think we've announced this publicly yet, but each of these mechs will have their own bespoke character sheet, where we'll have that are designed again by our artist Boog, which are going to have labels for like almost like a blueprint sheet of showing how the mech, where the bits go.
Awesome.
But yeah, keep your eyes peeled. We will be revealing more mech art as it comes in. And this whole game is, if I can plug myself for a moment, this whole game is coming to Kickstarter in late May or early June of this year.
I just put that link in chat.
Yep.
Thank you.
Definitely check that out. Let's see. One question I kind of will ask you, kind of from a design perspective. One thing I found interesting, basically, I kind of want to ask, basically, in terms of, basically, you talked about resign yourself to your fate, which is the next mission, I'm going to die. There's also a fun thing, since people can't see the character sheets. The character sheets also have a field on them labeled as next of kin. Which I read through the sample of the rules that you gave me, and basically that is the way of you've died, but you're not really dead. Basically, we notify your next of kin, we ship them your stuff, what remains of your stuff, and your next of kin picks it up from there. So I guess the question I'd have from a design perspective is basically you kind of incorporating treating death as a, hey, this is a fun game where the roles are going to be over the top and wild and crazy, and you want people to take the risks of being like, I want to have this explosive moment, because they should know the fact that, hey, even if I die, it isn't the end. Is that the intent behind that? Basically those kind of like take the chance. Death isn't the end. Just go for it. Have fun.
Yeah, I wanted to make a game that felt lethal, especially when you're just an intern or just starting out. It's very possible to die, but I didn't want it to. I wanted it to not feel bad when that happens. I wanted to minimize that blow as much as possible. So to that end, it gets harder to die as the game goes on. You can never die just from hitting 0 hit points in combat. You become injured. It's always a choice. It may be a very easy, it may not be a good choice to keep living. You may be like, I can spend all of my money doing this. Because the clinic every time you heal someone at the clinic, it gets more expensive up to
Okay.
But yeah, I wanted it to have that sense of lethality in the early games, and I also wanted it to not be devastating, like, oh my gosh, I've lost everything. But also, we're a little tongue-in-cheek about it. At the end of the first game, like, I don't have the book with me, but in the back of the first book, it has a little mouse graveyard where it has like pre-filled graves where you can write down the names of all the operatives who haven't made it.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That's great. Like, basically, kind of similar. Basically, you talked about the mission system, and there's one part. Basically, we weren't doing the missions. We kind of glossed over, but you pick one to succeed at, one to roll at, and one that you're just okay with failing, which is a neat way of kind of basically being the fact that you're never going to be 100% successful, even if you're exploding stuff in your mech during your missions. There's something you're giving up, and basically, I like that idea of the fact that players need to deal with. Oh, hey, we're doing great, we're doing awesome, but we're still losing parts of this over here. Basically, so how did the that kind of mission system come about? Is that basically from the original Cyberrats, or is that something you designed for this one?
So that is from the original Cyberrats. However, I stole that mechanic from Band of Blades, which is a brilliant Forged in the Dark game about managing an army in the wake of a zombie war. But the reason I did that, the reason I love that mechanic so much is that is me taking the XCOM roots of Cyberrats and bringing them out. So XCOM, if you haven't played those games, they're tactical strategy games where there's, just like Cyberrats, there's two phases. Phase one is you are doing these tactical missions on a grid, and it's very lethal. And phase two is you're at home building up a base and deciding which country can I afford to piss off. Like Brazil and Mexico are both being invaded. Brazil says that if I don't help them, they're not going to give me any more money. Mexico says that if I do help them, they'll give me a shiny new gun. I really want that shiny gun, but I need the money from Brazil. And so it's this forcing function of being like, folks, we really can't ignore the swarm. Like, if we don't fight them, if we lose that mission, we lose the game. So we either need to pay them down and not pay attention to it, or we have to win this mission. And I like that it has that forcing function, and I like that it gives the players a choice of, I mean, even at the start of this, I said, which of these missions do you want to do? And I didn't have 3 planned because it makes it easy for the GM to give 3 choices without having to do a ton of prep. That the prep that I didn't do wasn't wasted because I didn't do any prep. All I had to come up with was a location and a couple tags.
I guess that would be my next question to you. Basically, we've seen a lot of basically the player side of things with this. Basically, LoreLink is obviously basically supposed to be specialized in helping GMs with the software and things like that. What does Cyberrats look like from the GM side of things? What load does a GM take on? Basically, what does running a game of Cyberrats look like from behind the screen?
Yeah. So I shared with all the players, I shared cheat sheets. I have 2 or 3 more cheat sheets for myself. Things like the drop tables that I have to roll every round. Things like what does the enemy phase actually look like? Things like how do we resolve the secondary mission? How do we build that dice pool? So we do have a strong cycle, and we have these cheat sheets that are basically flows you can follow. Yeah, using an armament, which is on screen right now, is by far the most complex cheat sheet. Because that is just the most complex mechanic we have. But want to hook up, you're making a super mech, and these are not the final cheat sheets that'll be in the game, or we have a layout person who will take another stab at them. But these are the ones I use for demos. But what work does the GM have to do? The GM has to keep track of the state of the campaign, and we have a campaign tracker in Roll20 that I use here that also generates the drops for me. But in terms of keeping track of the state of the campaign, what does that mean? It means keeping track of the threat level for each faction, the victory meter for each faction, how many times you've beat each mission, which we'll talk about in just a moment, and what enemies you've seen. So each faction has 9 unique enemies. And every time you do a primary mission against that faction, then you just move down that list of enemies. So since this was the first time you fought the interlopers, I gave you the 2 easiest enemies. The next time you fight them, you'll get the Cuddaloid, which was that second enemy, and the next enemy, the Foo Fighter. After that, you'll get the Foo Fighter and the UFO drone, and so on until we get to the end. So it's always 1 familiar enemy, 1 new enemy. But the GM has to keep track of wait, have you guys fought the Ant Queen yet, or are we still at the Beetle Brothers? And you kind of have to keep track of where that is. And then I mentioned the number of times you fight each mission. So the way Cyberrats works, both the original and this game, they have the same structure. The campaign is every time you defeat, if there are 3 factions, and when you defeat each faction 3 times, you unlock that faction's final mission. And when you unlock that faction's final mission, that is a bespoke story mission. It's not one the GM generates. It's in the book. It says, here's exactly what that mission looks like. And then you do each of those 3 story missions in order. And when you complete the 3rd story mission, you've won the game. So in the first game, it looks like break into your rival megacorp to find out where the mothership is going to be. Go and hack the military to find out a secret weapon, and then go and storm the mothership and blow up the mothership. And so you have to beat each of those factions 3 times to unlock that story mission, and then once it's unlocked, you can go and crank out the campaign. So you have to keep track of like, wait, have we unlocked the story mission yet? And again, in Roll20, we track all of this. We just have check boxes that you can.
Mm-hmm. And of course, to toot our own horn. Basically, we have Lore Link is also another. Basically, we have a campaign tool.
Yes,
I am legally obligated. As basically is the. I have to say, but basically, not to say. Basically, it sounds like there's a lot of things going on basically in there, but it's tracking. But there isn't a large burden of, oh gosh, I need to come up with everything from scratch. Basically, there's some tracking, but there isn't basically. But it sounds like this is going to be a much lighter, even from the GM side. Once that tracking is done, you're like, okay, X, Y, and Z. The actual play is set it up and then let your players explode stuff.
And we have, so yeah, there's some bookkeeping on the GM side,
mm-hmm.
but we have like in the book tools to generate missions,
mm-hmm.
where we say, okay, here are the 15 different types of mission you can have. We did Briefcase today, but we also have like survive, extract, just eliminate, all sorts of different mission types. And we just have a roll table where you can generate those, hostage rescue. And then we also have like advice on how to run the enemies. It's not quite GM-less, but it's like if someone is painted or screwed, you target them. If someone is taunted, then you have to attack them, and so on. And there's basically like a little flow chart that we have where it's like, if you can complete the mission objective, do it. If you can't, attack the taunted person, then the screwed, then the painted, and then whoever is weakest that hasn't been injured yet. And it's like, if someone has already been injured, ignore them, because you can only get injured once. I can't bring you down more than that.
Yeah, it's always great to see when you're like, basically like, not only does the book have basically player instructions, things like that, it has, hey, you're a GM, basically, obviously you can do whatever you want, but here's the starting point. Here's some ideas. Here's how to get you off the ground. It's great to see a book that basically includes all of that from the start, so that you're not left going, how does this? Do I need to go look up an actual play? How does this actually really play? Basically, once you get those first couple of games, then you're like, oh, now I have the freedom to do what I want. If I want to break the rules, I want to do other stuff, I can do that. But I've got that base for me in the book, which sounds great.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm just trying to think if there's any other question. Basically, I guess the only other interesting question I had was basically, this is a sequel TTRPG, which is kind of basically a little bit rare and a little bit unusual. So what is that? Basically, what was the design process for like, hey, I want to make a sequel to this game, not just a new edition of it. I want to make an actual sequel. What does that feel like in terms of your design process?
So that's so funny. I made the original Cyberrats I started working on it in late 2020, released it in 2021. And a couple years later, I think 2023, we released an expansion, a nautical expansion, undersea expansion called Cyberrats Rise of the Briny Bastards, which was an undersea expansion where you have a submarine, you have lieutenants, and that was very much inspired by, again, XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. There were just a few things that didn't make it into the first game that people kept asking about. People kept saying, I want to do a heist as my rats. And I was like, if you want to do a heist, go play Blades in the Dark. And they're like, no, I want to do a heist Cyberrats. So we added new heist rules. I was never happy with the stealth rules in the base game, so we went and overhauled those. Relationships, everyone was like, I want my rat to smooch. And I was like, you can just do that. I'm like, no, I want rules for it. All right.
I want my rat to what?
Smooch.
Oh,
I want kissing rats because of course.
I got it. Yep.
Yeah. But like, and I was playing in actual plays at the time where it made sense to have like a confidant relationship. But basically the expansion largely came out of the community, where people were saying, here are the things you missed. I want this.
Mm.
And then when I was working on that, there's a wonderful community member named Mari who lives in my Discord. I assume she lives other places as well, but I encountered
Little people inside your
her, and she's fantastic. And she jokingly mentioned, and like as soon as we announced Cyberrats Underwater, she was like, "When are we doing Cyberrats in space?" And I was like, "Oh, ha ha ha!" And then here we are. And but it's like at least 80% due to her. Like sometimes I would like have a joke and I'd be like, "Oh man, I forgot this mechanic. I'll put it in the space folder." And eventually the space folder got big enough that I was like, "What if?" And what really prompted it is the fuse mechanics. I want to do something with fuse. The biggest problem that I have with Cyberrats Core is that you can stack so many tags and upgrades on your weapon that it becomes a hassle at the table. Where you're like, okay, my gun has knockback, spread, jolting, and sticky. Give me a minute to resolve all that. And I wanted to do something where it sort of naturally, the complexity is naturally capped. And I started writing a Cyberrats by Gaslamp game, like a steampunk style thing of like, yeah, you can add as many tags as you want, but you will blow a fuse. And for reasons I won't get into, that game fell apart. But I also started finding, like, I started wanting to do a mech game at the same time. And I said, you know, I already have this great framework of Cyberrats, and I already have this fuse mechanic that I love. What if I put, you know, your chocolate in my peanut butter? And
that makes sense.
And so, and I said, so the cool thing that I like about Cyberrats in space is it's fully backwards compatible with Cyberrats, where if you choose to eject from your mech, or if you encounter one of the many enemies that will pull you out of your cockpit and throw you across the battlefield, you are now helpless, but you're now playing the previous game. You are now, you know, you can still pull out your big gun that has 10 attachments on it. You can still use your powers. And it's just like this system that works both in and out of the cockpit, where it's that, you know, the enemies are still balanced where you're not going to be completely helpful. Like if all you have is the starting gun, then yeah, you're going to have a bad time with your 3 pilot hit points. But if you have a career from that base game, you know, the more you dig into that base game, the more equipped you are to dismount by choice.
That's great. I like this guy. I like that. That's going to be good.
I want to jump in really quickly because I like the sequel concept and everything, but you did say at the very start of the stream, third and final.
Yes.
Does that mean you just kind of you're done with this and want to move on to something else, or you just feel like this is telling the whole story?
A little of both. So the first of all, the story that this one wraps up is like, you are going to space, you're getting revenge. Cyberrats in space. Cyberrats, you're meant to lose. You're meant to lose that campaign. This one, you're meant to win. And actually, spoilers for Cyberrats in space. You're not meant to win this campaign. You are meant, seriously, spoilers. You are meant. I have players in this chat here. Close your ears. I saw some players in here. You are not meant to win this game. You are meant to figure out that your revenge is unjust. You are meant to retaliate against your corporate overseers. And you are meant to not finish the campaign. And there's a thing where it's like, if you complete the campaign as we outlined it for you, the GM has a little box of text to read that says, hey, you got to an ending. That wasn't a good ending. Like, you did a mistake. There's a moment in here where you are expected to say, wait, how much revenge is unjust? And so that's
nice.
But also, in general, personally, I'm walking away from making RPGs. This is going to be, I'm planning for this to be one of my last 2. I have one that I'm making as part of a grant that I won. But I've basically made the games I want to make. I've said the things I want to say. That said, I would love to make a Cyberrats Ultimate Edition where we took everything from all 3 games, cleaned up the original, put the first game in color, first game's in black and white, made it in color, put it together as one complete giant book, By RPG standards, it would be fine. But each of the books is about the first book's 100 pages, the second one's 120. This one's going to be about 130 probably. Combine them all together, we'd probably lose 40 pages of overlap in there. But it would be a big book. Realistically, that's probably not going to happen unless this Kickstarter does gangbusters. But outside of that, I don't see myself returning to Cyberrats after this.
Well, it sounds like basically.
Oh, it makes. Yeah.
You want Cyberrats to basically keep going? Basically, dump a bunch of money on the Kickstarter. Basically,
That's not what I
said. The burden of success basically starts looming.
That is not what I said. No, this is final planned content for Cyberrats. We
awesome.
do have a planned stretch goal for a Long War mod, which is again one of the most popular XCOM mods, where we would say, what if I wanted this to be bigger or longer? And it's also something where we would say, I would get together with my two co-creators, my sister Rachel, and our wonderful artist Boog, who's active in the chat here. And I would say, okay, what ideas have we had to cut? What ideas have I shut you down? And I'm sure Boog especially has a list ready of everything I've made him cut from this. But that's something that we would consider putting in like that zine. But in general, no, I've said what I want to say.
Cool.
And I'm happy with what we've made here.
Solid answer. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
That is great. Okay, so basically, obviously, final plugs. Basically, if you have them anything beyond, basically, we've got the link in chat for the Kickstarter. If you're interested in that, go check that out. Basically, go follow that. Basically, get those numbers up. Basically, get the follow numbers up, and you can also check out his other links right there at that link that just popped up in chat. Thank you.
Yes, and if I can plug one more mechanic on the game,
please do.
There is, so I mentioned earlier that I will be presenting, the manager will present the players with 3 missions. One to succeed at, one to roll as a secondary mission, and one to fail. There are also side hustles, which are optional missions that come up that you can choose to do as a primary mission instead. There's no penalty for ignoring them, but they come with great rewards. The penalty is that you have to, if you take one, you have to fail an additional mission. So to be in a good place to do them. But they are just a lot of fun. It's just me and my co-creators taking our gloves off and saying, what would be cool as hell here? And so one of my favorite ones is called Escape the Mothership. And it is, we're starting in media res, where the first game ends. Like the first game is like we blow up a mothership and leave. This is like, yeah, we've already done that. We skipped that part. It's old hat. You've placed a bomb on a mothership. We start a song. We start a specific song by LCD Sound System. And when the song ends, if you have not escaped, you die. And so this is in real time, everyone is like, don't worry about it, like just take your turn and go. Don't worry about anything else. Just run, done, as fast as you can. And we have other missions that have similar, there's a masquerade party where you're infiltrating a masquerade ball to steal a mech from the host. We have all of these side hustles do a different thing. We have one called Cat and Mouse, where you are fighting runaway excavation equipment on an asteroid. We have all sorts of missions here that each just play with a different fun mechanic and give you like big fun unique rewards that you can't get anywhere else. And every time with one of my home games, every time these come up, the players are always like, can we afford to do this, because I really want to do this? And so I'm really happy with how each of those came out. They're all once per campaign missions outside of the scope of, you might do 5 survival missions or 2 extraction missions over a campaign, but each of these comes up just once. And so I just love those.
That sounds great. I love the idea of just, we have our normal set missions, and here's where we get weird. Here's where we get fun and bizarre, and basically just throwing crazy ideas at it. I love those. That sounds great. I look forward to seeing those.
Yeah, huge fan of those, and I'll definitely be sharing some of those as promo, as well as on the Kickstarter page as we get closer to that.
Awesome. All right. Any other plugs, basically? Anybody else have anything else going on? If not, I will give our final spiel here. That we are Lorelink, a campaign management tool for helping GMs, DMs, managers in this case, basically manage their campaigns. Basically be able to track all your your levers, you basically all your levels, your meters, basically things like that. Basically all the quests and other things you have for your players, be able to track them and easily manage them in game. Basically quickly without having to disrupt your game that much, so you could just keep going and doing the thing you enjoy, such as blowing up scientists in an IKEA. Because hey, who doesn't want to do more of that and less bookkeeping? Basically, that's what we're trying to do with Lorelink, is make that easier so you can get back to your game and keep playing and keep having the fun. So you can check that out. That link that just popped up there. You can basically sign up for your account there, and basically you can check it out. If you're interested in more of our streams, basically we obviously have lots of cool streams coming on. We have cool guests like this one. Just next week, I believe we have, is next week 20 or is next week Storybake? I just realized I forgot. I have a schedule and I haven't read it, and I believe it is Storybake. Thank you. Basically Storybake, which is another basically interesting cookie one. That will be basically which is a European guest, a French guest, I believe. We'll be talking about Storybake, and we'll have is that not one? That one, not that one. It's just cooking.
No.
Okay.
You're confusing completely different things. This is just baking and RPGs.
Baking and RPGs is Storybake. That's basically, the French one is a different one. That's later. We'll talk about that one more later. And then basically after that, we have some great video game streams, and then more in cool creative creators. So obviously, if you want to know more about that, following our channel will basically give you notifications about that and tell you all the cool things that we're up to. Subscribing to the channel is always just a nice thank you. It is never required. If you have Amazon Prime Gaming, obviously you get that one free one, and basically you can take money out of Jeff Bezos's pockets and give it to us, and we have a yacht free guarantee. We will never spend any money you give us for a subscription, basically from an Amazon Prime subscription, on a yacht. Oh, and thank you for this guy. I see that subscription come in. Thank you very much. Basically, how do you pronounce your username?
I pronounce it Alatenander, but it's a Roman numeral joke.
Oh.
Of course it is.
Yep. Got it. Took me a second, and I'm like, oh, right. Well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, and basically, obviously, if you want to keep up with us in social media-wise, we have a Blue Sky account. Check us out there, where we basically post upcoming cool basically cool events, cool creators, and other things. Somebody's playing Duolingo.
It was me, okay?
And last,
Duolingo wants me to use it.
Careful of the owl. There's a mech for you, an owl that just comes through. Basically, you don't finish the mission in time, the owl just starts coming through for you. And last but not least, of course, if you want to get updates that you don't want to deal with, basically we deal with social media, which is completely understandable. We do have a newsletter, comes once a month, delivered to your inbox, written by me when Tony kicks me and reminds me that I need to write newsletters. So we get one a month, because more than that, and Tony doesn't like poking me that much. We also have a new blog which has started as well. You can check that out. You can check those out. We've had some cool comments from our indie creators. Tony talked about their time jamming. I will have stuff about basically introing the jamming coming up on that blog here soon. So check that out as well. And last but not least, basically, if you caught part of this video and you do want to catch more of it, we are restreaming this over on YouTube, and that is our dedicated long-term storage site, because Twitch does weird things with archives, so you can check out our videos there. And if you're over there, like the video, comment on the video, do the things to please the YouTube algorithm gods. We always appreciate it. All right. Thank you all so much for playing. Thank you so much for running. Thank you, Alex. And we will catch you all
Alex, thank you
later.
so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.